Husband never told me that he loves me in 10 years of marriage, and I can no longer hide that it hurts me. I'm using a throwaway account for privacy reasons. Please don't post this anywhere else, thank you. In recent months I've seen so many posts on this and other subs about arranged marriages that worked that I started to wonder what I did wrong with mine. It's not that it didn't work out and we don't get along, he just doesn't love me and I do. From the moment we met and decided we were going to get married, we became very good friends, and we also liked each other and had good chemistry, and that somehow gave me hope, and I thought that one day we would be another of those couples with an arranged marriage who love each other madly and spend the rest of their lives together, but it wasn't like that because the only one who fell in love was me. And it's not like he doesn't know, because he knows. I've told him many times and never gotten an answer, and I can no longer pretend that it doesn't hurt me. Last month we went on a trip while my mom stayed with the children, and the truth is that I didn't enjoy those days at all, because most of them I was thinking about what I'm doing wrong. It's not that he is cold or something like that, because he is a person who likes to hug me or kiss me at any time. He tells me countless times that I'm pretty or that I'm the best thing that ever happened to him, etc. He basically always shows me affection, but it's not enough for me anymore. On one of those days we went to a very nice restaurant for dinner, and I thanked him and told him that I love him, again, and he just hugged me and said something like I deserved even more, and that phrase was really sweet, but I wanted to hear something else, and his lack of response made me feel different for the first time. It made me feel humiliated. I don't know how to explain it. I just know that since then I've been distant and he noticed it. 2 days ago we were intimate and I always told him I loved him in that moment. It's something I've been doing for years, but the last few times I haven't told him anything and he realized. He asked me why I was acting strange, if he did something wrong, and I didn't say anything. I just told him I didn't feel well, and he believed me, but this morning he asked me again the same thing. And this time he didn't believe me when I told him I didn't feel well. He just told me he knew something was wrong, but he didn't know what it was. And the truth is I was embarrassed to tell him how I really felt. I feel very humiliated to have to tell him that I'm heartbroken that he doesn't love me. I don't want to have to beg for some love, so I don't know what to say to him because I don't want to humiliate yourself again. I know it's not my fault, but I can't help but wonder, why can't he love me? We are best friends, we have a beautiful family, we are very compatible as a couple in so many ways, so I don't understand what's wrong. How can I confront him? Can a relationship like this survive if love is one-sided? Comment. I'm sorry, perhaps I missed it, but have you told him, in explicit terms, that you want him to tell you that he loves you in those words? And that it is hurting you more and more that he will not? Then you owe it to the both of you to explicitly, clearly, unequivocally tell him what you have said here. That is the only responsible thing to do. And I hope he reciprocates in the way that you want, truly, but as a thought experiment, what will you do if he doesn't or won't say it? How important to you is it? Have you ever come out and asked him if he loves you? I don't think it's embarrassing for a wife to ask her husband that question. You aren't begging for him to love you, you're just asking him if he does. Simple. If he says no, then you at least have your answer and can decide how you want to proceed from there. I'm betting he won't say that though. You two just might not understand each other's love languages. You've got to articulate your feelings. That was years ago. Ask again. And if you don't get the answer you want or feel you deserve, then tell him as much and decide what you want to do from there. Don't suffer silently. Let him know what you want from a husband, because this is your marriage too. Next story 2. My ex-fiancé left me the day of the flight to be with me, now wants to be friends. What should I do? We met in person 3 years ago. Started dating a year and a half ago. We became best friends and I always thought she was the one for me. A very kind, funny and beautiful person. We always spent time together. I had never felt a connection like that with anyone before. She understood me on many levels. We decided to get married, in my country, and live here. The dates for everything were chosen by her and I always adapted to what she wanted. She chose a wedding dress, etc. She told me that the sooner the better, because she already wanted to be with me. We talked about what our life together would be like. I made sure she felt safe with me. I planned the trip, bought the plane tickets and everything she needed for the trip, bought the rings and moved to another place to start our life together. Financially I had a better position, but I paid directly to flight agency. I didn't give her any money, ever. I always made it clear to her that she didn't had to feel pressured to come get married, that anyway, we could decide anything being here. but we were both excited to be together. I said that because I put myself in her shoes and thought it could be scary to move to another country. But she said she wanted to be with me and nothing mattered. Everything indicated to me that we were equally in love. On the day of the trip, I woke up to hear an audio message of her, almost crying, saying that she felt very confused, that she couldn't do it, that she was scared of everything and she didn't know if she still liked her ex, that she felt safer at home. She said that everything hurt her a lot, but she could never get her head around living with me. That she's afraid to take risks. So the day I waited for ages, that I imagined to be one of the happiest, turned out horrible. I tried to contact her but she ignored me. Her mother apologized to me. The next day, she made another audio saying that she hadn't had the courage to answer me before. And that she was overwhelmed and tired, but that she felt sorry. She said she felt relieved but doesn't know what she should do. That she still loves me and hopes we could talk about it at some point. I didn't wanted to respond, but I did, to tell her that I was very devastated and I deserve an explanation. Today she responded, saying that she would like to give me an explanation but that she is very tired of the subject and that what she needs is a break from all that, but I don't even know what happened. Said she would find the day to do it. That every day that passes she wonders how I am and hopes I'm doing better than her, and hopes we can still be friends and leave it all behind. Honestly, I don't even think she's sad for me, but I don't know if it's because I'm angry at her, and that changes my perception. Days ago, I wanted an explanation. I feel like I deserved it. I put so much effort, I loved her very much. I don't know where I went wrong, what went wrong, or what was the reason for her sudden change, sudden for me. I don't know if she was always lying, if she never loved me. If she's manipulative. The fact that she left me like that broke me. Not knowing the reason kills me. The more time passes and I don't know the reason, the more I think about it and feel many different things. But, I've gone from feeling sadness, abandonment, disappointment, anger, and humiliation to feeling nothing. I don't know if I want to listen to her explanations because they won't change anything. I'm not interested in them because she's immature and she can't think about me in this whole situation, she's making everything about herself. I don't know if she just wants to clean up her guilt. When she speaks I don't hear sadness in her voice. Don't know if it's just me. At the same time, I don't know if it's a good idea to know what she has to say, just so I can give closure to everything and move on. Should I accept and listen to her? She didn't even tell me when she wanted to talk. Or should I just ignore her? Next story 3. I can't fathom how I got myself in this situation with my ex, but I'm grateful it did happen. About last year December, I got a place together with my current ex now, and in order for you to understand this full story it's only right I tell you why I chose to move in with her. Last year I had my own apartment and went through a financial turmoil around November-December last year where I had to start looking for another place to stay, but I had money saved up. My current ex was back and forth between my place the whole year and her aunt's and sometimes her dad's place. She would come over and basically we would spend our time together. I knew she wasn't stable but I felt bad, and of course that was my girlfriend at the time and everything was good until I started struggling. During this time she kept mentioning how she felt it was best that we wasn't exclusive, and I kept mentioning to her at the time this is something that just occurred and I was going to find a new solution to it. She tried leaving me a couple of times when I was going through my turmoils. I supported her, but when it came to me it was different. She kept saying how she didn't feel secure, but before that happened everything was fine. I did feel alone at the time and didn't have the wisdom or foresight to see what was happening. She proposed to me the first week of December last year about getting a place together as we would save money and fix the distance between us and how we can bond more, and I agreed. Wink with a frown. This year January we moved in together, a place where we can both save money by splitting the rent and still being together. However, she became really comfortable and started to just not put any effort in the relationship. She had just enough money moving in to cover half the expenses to move in and didn't work for 3 months. During this time, which is January-March, I was paying all the bills, and with 2 jobs and a gig, she kept complaining how she didn't feel secure or good about her situation, which I totally understood, but she started to blame me for her incompetence with her own life. Suddenly I became from being praised to being the root of everything happening in her life, from her feeling insecure about herself to how we are incompatible all of a sudden. Her name is on the lease and I've always felt uncomfortable about it. She became hell really fast and I've never seen her like this. She's agitated over everything I do and nothing satisfies her. I broke up with her in early September and told her I'm too young to go through this and I want for my life, I'm very grateful that I was able to live with her, but I didn't think me saving money was going to come with the cost of my mind and her trying to belittle me. I handle all of my priorities and responsibilities, pay my bills and go to school online and have a side business. She works a job but somehow always stress about money. Also, we have 3 bedrooms and 2 of her family members has been coming over to stay, and now one of them permanently staying here until the lease is up. I don't even like being home. With all honesty, I hate it, and I truly ask myself, why did I move in together with her? The lease is up December and I've already been looking at places to move into once that comes, and haven't told her. I only mentioned to her that I wanted to be single and she can talk to whoever she wants to. She has become more resentful and argumentative about anything. I literally can't ask her a question without her getting triggered then flipping it on me. This is definitely one of my biggest lessons in life when it comes to moving in with a woman.